All right, welcome back to the best NFT show in the world. We are about to get after it, bringing you the NFT news from around the industry, taking you around the metaverse. Look, we're the best around. No one's ever going to bring us down. That's pretty much the motto of today. So what's going on, Ronan? How you doing, my man?
I love how like our pre-show shenanigans have started like permeating like the live show. I love it, man. It's going good. You know, it's the usual intro. We've got a lot going on in the NFT space in the last week. If you guys have not been paying attention, we've seen Bored Apes pop up all over the place. Lots of celebrities, athletes, and who else is jumping in on that train? You know, obviously we've got Space Jam and Bitcoin Origins and so much stuff going on this week, man. How have you been? How was your weekend? Did you have a good weekend?
I was good. You told me that you were able to sell some deadheads. I was almost able. Someone had an offer in and then pulled them when they saw my deadheads weren't that good. So I got into a couple other generative art projects. I've been having a great time. You mentioned Bitcoin Origins. Shout out to the Bitcoin Origins crew that is making their way in to the episode here. We just retweeted. We just kind of hit the socials from Jeremy's side. So we have Jeremy Bourne from NFT Genius. This is going to be an amazing convo, man. He is a really big player in the NFT space. Obviously, we had him on all those years ago, something like 6 months ago on Bitcoin Origins to talk about that project. But now NFT Genius is launched. They have a lot of things going on. You're a speaker at something that they have going on that we'll touch on, right?
Yeah. Just remembered that pre-show again. So yeah, I'm going to be speaking at that event as well. I'm really looking forward to it. If you guys haven't heard about the NFT experience, I'm sure we're going to chat a little bit with Jeremy about that. But yeah, we've got an excellent show. We're going over all types of topics. I know Q usually does this part, but I'm going to steal it today. We're talking Space Jam. We're talking about the floor prices. Green Rabbit launched on Wax today. Some new metaverse and lots of other really great. We've got both Zed Run and Chicken Derby to talk about, which should be interesting because those projects seem to be very similar. And obviously the gamification of NFTs is something we're going to chat about as well. So really looking forward to today's episode, man.
So yeah, I'm hyped. I must have like had too much coffee or something, but I want to throw up the X for my man Dez Bryant. Yeah, exactly. So we are actually going to hit some Bitcoin Origin stuff, some NFT Genius. But Buff did tell me to bring up my man, Notorious Conor McGregor. Buff, you let me know what needs to happen with Notorious.
Yeah, he I think he didn't win.
How dare you?
And he's not feeling so fresh.
That's it.
Oh boy, Greta McGregor.
Greta McGregor.
All I gotta say is karma is a mirror, and that is what you're staring at, sir. Connor, you best watch what you say these days, man. But yeah, and that's what happened, man.
He got laid out. I didn't get to watch the fight live, but like I watched the next part, and it was like that was pretty funny by himself.
Yeah, either Connor is growing out his hair, or Greta's got a sick neck tattoo now. That's absolutely
yeah. I gotta know, did you create that image or did you find that?
No, I found that like, last week. I found it before the fight, and then I knew I was gonna bring it up at one point. So there you are. Yeah. Let's see if Greta McGregor makes an appearance during the show. Have a great show, guys. And yeah, the fight was crazy. And yeah, there you go. Perfect timing. Yeah.
Ronan's house is getting blown up right when we go live. Guys, this is what's going to happen. NFT Genius is coming on. We have Jeremy Bourne waiting in the wings. He said we could have some fun. He said we could have some fun before the episode. So I appreciate you putting up with us. We will bring Jeremy Bourne on now. Shout out to everyone who is here. We see you guys in the chat. We'll get to you here shortly. But yeah, Jeremy, we're going to put you up now. How are you doing today in the NFT world, my man?
Fantastic, guys. And we can have as much fun as you want to have. Like, this is a laid back, kick back conversation. Like, this is my world, NFTs, right? This is what I do every single day. So happy to talk about anything you guys want to chat about.
Awesome, man. Well, I love that mindset. And we're going to touch on the general art space, or general NFT space, but I really want to touch on what you've been up to since the last time you've been on NFT Live. I mean, that seems, I think it's directly like 6 to 7 months ago, you guys were getting Bitcoin Origins there off the ground. So what have you been up to in Bitcoin Origins as well as this new project, NFT Genius?
Yeah, there's a lot there, right? I always tell people NFT time is like no other time on earth, right? One day is akin to 6 months in any other industry. So it moves so quick, which is why we've been up to quite a bit. If you don't move and evolve with the times, you're going to get left behind. And it's even hard, obviously, with current projects, like just staying up with the times and getting a pulse in terms of what people like, what people are using and collecting, and the mechanisms in which, these companies are utilizing to really innovate in the space. So, for us, it's a constant challenge every day. And if we're not on top of it, we will get left behind. But luckily, we have an incredibly diverse team of people, some of the smartest people I've ever worked with in my entire life, which is why I think is half the battle in terms of success in a business is you have to surround yourself with people that are way smarter than you. And I've done that, right? I'm always the least intelligent guy in the room, at least I think that on our team. Because this team really is truly incredible, and it's indicative of the products and things that we launch, the investors that we brought to the table, and the pipeline in terms of what we're bringing in and our product roadmap into the future. So with that said, what have we been up to? So I think when we were on our show the last time with you guys, I believe we were on moment 2. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Moment 2 or moment 3. So moment 2, I mean, we're just about to launch moment 7 coming up here in a couple of weeks. And that is basically kind of going through the sequential timeline of Bitcoin and its history. I mean, this is what I love is helping people understand like why Bitcoin exists, why it was created, why did Satoshi create this, why is he anonymous, like all these different things, he or she, should I say, and getting from the initial conception of the creation of the white paper, going sequentially through the moments in time, these historic moments in Bitcoin's history, why they happen, and memorializing those through some of the most incredible art in the space, as you can see on the screen right now. Moment 7 for us is really exciting because it's the creation of the Bitcoin magazine, right? And a lot of people don't know this, but Vitalik Buterin actually was one of the co-creators of Bitcoin magazine. It is one of the first news and publications for Bitcoin and covering Bitcoin specifically. So it's a really important piece of Bitcoin history because it really laid the groundwork for what Bitcoin ultimately will become, and really getting that message out to the masses in terms of why it's so important that somebody would pour time and effort into creating an actual magazine around specifically that topic.
Wow, that's awesome. Obviously, we've been following the project of Bitcoin Origins for a while, and moment 7 is huge. You've made it from moment 1, and you never know how some of these projects may turn out. So I'd love to hear a little bit more about everyone I feel like in chat knows a lot about Bitcoin Origins, but you guys have a little bit more going on in NFT Genius outside of just BTC now, right? You've got a couple more properties coming up and also an event coming up next month.
Choyna is the man. Look at that. BTC Origins art is amazing. Thank you, Choyna. Yeah, so we have most incredible community in the world. I have to call them out and just say, just give them credit. Without this community, and I think, we obviously wouldn't be where we are today. We wouldn't have all this incredible excitement around Bitcoin Origins as a project, which, you never know how things are going to land unless you put it out to the world, right? So we put this out to the world. It was completely organic, no paid marketing up front. This was organic growth of community tied with this treasure hunt that allowed people to come together and connect over something that they had an affinity for, which is Bitcoin. And that community grew to, over 5,000 people, which is really incredible, which then led to getting people's eyes looking at us, from the investment standpoint. So reached out to Mark Cuban. He loved what we were doing. He loved that we were leading the story and telling a story through artistic NFTs because no one had really effectively done that yet. So I had these ongoing conversations, and eventually I started to tell him, here's what we're thinking about in terms of our product roadmap and what we'd like to accomplish in the NFT space. We got on a call and he just said, I'm all in. So, he led our last round. In conjunction with some other major players in the industry. Anthony Pompliano is one of those. Rohan, the CEO of Dapper Labs. I mean, Ashton Kutcher, which is a part of Sound Ventures. Guy Osiri, which is one of the biggest music managers in history. It's like I literally am in awe and in shock. I'm pinching myself every day because this is like my dream come true. Like if I had to pick any investor that I would want to invest in me, it'd be Mark Cuban, that number one. Andreessen Horowitz, you're next in the next round. You're my next one that I'd like for you to come in. So we'll be talking soon. But for us,
Andreessen's definitely watching.
Yeah, there you go. So these guys are betting on us in a big way, and that's on us. We have our work cut out for us, but it's not going to slow us down. All it did was just light a fire even more so onto us to be able to really execute and bring stuff to the table. So NFT Genius, the idea and how I look at business in this NFT space is it's ours for the taking. it's so early that we have the ability to establish and set the ground rules for what this industry will ultimately become. It's like the early people in Bitcoin, like they literally had the ability to write history then and there and define what this ultimately will look like. So we see the NFT space as that. There's some incredible players in the market, which is why we're attaching ourselves to several of them, including that of Dapper Labs, because we think what they've done with NBA Top Shot is incredible, and we want to stand up some large marketplace technology next to them. So we're working on marketplace technology for a general marketplace that we will launch on Flow. This is a place where we're going to launch some of the biggest brands and IPs in the entire world that we've been working on for the last several months. Very excited about that. We are focusing, as a lot of people already know, on music and music marketplace technology to kind of redefine the way in which people consume music and interact and engage with their fan base. So that's really exciting. You can see that on ongaia.com right now and get early access. We're putting on conferences, which is the NFT experience, being the connective tissue for the industry. So bringing all the thought leaders together and helping clearly define like what the future of the space is and can become. So as you can tell, like we're trying to be the center point for all things NFT. So if you think of NFTs, you think of NFT Genius. We are the connector, the connecting tissue, the builders of the technology, as well as the builders of this incredible IP, which is part of our division, which is Bitcoin Origins, Sidekick, and Crypto Buds. Those are the three projects that we're really focused on right now and bringing out to market. So as you can tell, we've been very busy. And then lastly, if that wasn't enough, focused on something called Nifty Cap. And, with the incredible mind of Kurt Braggett and everything that he's done, working with some very large analytics companies in crypto, in the past, Nifty Cap is going to be the new coin market cap. I know there's Crypto Slam, but there's a lot of opportunities for improvement. They also need a competitor, right? So it just creates a healthy environment. So we're rethinking a lot of that interaction and how you actually view, from a collector standpoint, NFTs and how you can find opportunities to collect and buy and purchase and sell. And with my background at Coin Genius and all the analytics that I've done in the past, helping people to really understand and visualize the trends and the things that you should be looking at and caring about, the stuff that you guys probably already do yourself by looking at like 5 different sites. We're hoping you can do that with one site with a real-time environment across blockchains to figure out what the hell is going on and where you would like to maybe make the next investment without giving financial advice.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you have the next billionaire in NFTs sitting right here with us on NFT Live. Jesus Christ, Jeremy, you are getting after it. I mean, I don't even know where to start from a question standpoint. Cuban, we know, has been getting into the NFT space, and he was definitely a major point of interest during that kind of run up there in March, February timeframe. What was it like being on the call with Cuban? How was it motivating? Were you stressed out? I love Mark Cuban myself. Love those Shark Tank episodes. So what was it like getting interviewed there by Cuban, or talking to Cuban?
I told myself, I'm like, if I can just get this guy on a call, I'll close the deal, right? Like at first it was about like Bitcoin Origins. He's like, yeah, that's cool, but it's like a project. Where how can you be a company, right? So like anybody who's building something, just think about that as you're going after investment. They want to know how you're going to be a sustainable brand and a company. How are you going to get recurring revenue? Because guess what? If you don't sell out on that sale of your next drop, to them, that's not very interesting, and that's actually risky. So that's why we go after marketplace technology and things to where you can get a clip of every sale that happens in the ecosystem, right? That's what they want to see. So that really helped us to understand our future roadmap and what we need to build. And as we started talking about those plans, that's where he woke up and got excited. And we scheduled a call. He was going to come in for a small portion of the $4 million round, ended up by the end of that call saying, all right, you know what? I'm going to take basically more than half. So, he's our lead investor. He said, I have some friends that I'd like to bring in. And, he brought in Guy Osiri and Ashton, and, the rest is kind of history. To be in a position to where we're oversubscribed and there's people that wanted to get in that couldn't, just really was, once again, just great, humbling experience for us. But also, just like I said, lit a fire under our butts even more in saying that the opportunity is right here. We can control our destiny. It's how fast we can move. Right. So we've just been grinding and working our butts off ever since we closed that investment, which is why I just, listed off like 50 things that we're probably working on right now that we're about to launch in the next 6 months.
Yeah, I love to see it. And I think that obviously, like when you do have such a successful product like Bitcoin Origins, there is that expectation of like, okay, what's the next thing? How are you going to scale out, right? Like being part of Gig Labs now, like I'm getting to have these conversations as well. And it's interesting how many times people are like, okay, well, what comes next, right? And I think that it's a really good question, especially for the space as a whole. And I'd like to ask just like, you know, for NFT Genius, obviously you guys have Gaia, right? Like, which is super focused on music. But like as a whole, right, like where do you see like the space going next, right? Like for me, like I feel like obviously we talked a little bit pre-show about the fact that games are kind of like you know, a natural progression. Like do you feel like that's kind of the next step? You know, where exactly do you see the space going, you know, in the next, I don't know, let's say 2 to 4 months?
Well, there's a guy on this call named Ronan that called us out early on, and you were right. You were dead on, right? With everybody in the industry, what you were saying was truth, which is the future of NFTs. And what was this over 6 months ago? You were saying this is going to be about utility. So it was really a race to creating more and additional value above and beyond that of just a collectible card or a collectible thing. That's not enough. Yes, you get these anomalies like, you know, CryptoPunks and, you know, Hashmass and all these kinds of things, but they created something that was just this extended community and this club feel that had more to it, right? Which is why it worked. But for the average set that's coming in, if you don't have some sort of utility aspect, you're going to fall flat on your face. And it's just unfortunate that's where it's at. I actually think it's incredibly healthy. I love the fact that we're in, with some sets, I would say some sort of like semi-bear market, right, with NFTs, because we're at such ridiculous prices, right, where anything that I got on Nifty Gateway I could sell for 10 grand, like, which is just unsustainable, right? I think this is healthy, this reset, because it forced all of us as creators and developers to really think long and hard about the why. Why am I creating this set, and how can I convey that why to my audience? If I can effectively convey that why, people will buy. But beyond that, what is the utility? Do you have some sort of gameplay aspect? Do you have some sort of redemption mechanism? Is this going to turn into like some real world AR thing like Pokemon Go? What is it above and beyond your cards that can entice me as a user to stay? Bitcoin Origin succeeds because people stay. Yes, you lose people along the way, but you get new people. They're here for the hunt. They're here for the community. And I'll take a quote. I can't remember who it was. Sorry to the community member, but they said something like, I came for the art and I stayed for the community. That's how you win in NFTs. And that's why NBA Top Shot wins, is because they have the community and they stayed. And they're only $9 packs. So
yeah. I definitely think that for us, that's one of the things that we're trying to like really get people to understand is like, you don't have to sell like $500 NFTs to like really be successful in the space. Like actually it's quite the opposite in my opinion. I think that especially right now we're seeing a lot of the projects that are going like, you know, the $5, $10, $15 route are doing really well. And I think that it makes it more accessible to more people, right? Like we've got to get more collectors in this space to make it sustainable. So, you know, it's great to see how you guys are like branching out and doing that across now multiple experiences, not only like straight up NFTs, but obviously putting together, you know, NFT cap as well as doing the NFT experience. You know, I think that events is another thing. You know, do you guys have any plans to tie in like, you know, maybe a proof of attendance or anything for NFT experience itself?
You know, we're throwing this thing together and going as fast as we can while running everything else. So like, that's a great idea, but no, we haven't done that. But you know, this is our first one. So we plan on actually doing a few of these a year because the NFT space, like I said, it moves so quick. You kind of have to keep up with pace as to what's going on. We do want to move into a live event, kind of like a flagship event every single year. So we'll probably start that in 2022 where everybody can get together, because I guarantee you in 2022, the experiences, like the in-person experiences that will be available through NFTs, specifically around like things that even we're doing, right, are going to be very interesting, and they're going to be immersive, and they're going to be things that you want to touch and feel and step into, because they're going to just further augment an experience that you could have in person. That's how I see NFTs playing out. So going back to your question, the future of NFTs is augmenting a in-person or real-time experience, a live event. And NFTs like Pokemon Go are all over the place, and you're trying to find them and get access or proof of attendance, to your point. As soon as you break a geofence, it gives you access, just like Snapchat does, to specific filters that you can get, and there's only 100. We've seen this already in baseball with Topps Go, or like Topps Now, something like that. When you're in the stadium, you have the ability for a certain amount of time to purchase a card. we've seen some of those cards go for like $30, $50, $60,000 on eBay, and you could have only have gotten them if you're in person. So that model really works. Gaming is the next thing. Gaming is going to be huge. We all want to know like when the Fortnite skins are going to turn into NFTs, as you mentioned earlier. We've been asking that same question. But until these guys have to do that, they don't need to. They make plenty of money. So how can we challenge ourselves as NFT creators to almost force their hand, because we convey and make them realize that NFTs as mini supercomputers can be programmed to do anything, which is vastly superior to that of a digital asset that's flat and doesn't do anything.
Absolutely. I want to talk on the broader crypto market, but the last question I had is related to NFT Genius. I see the products you guys are currently releasing. Obviously, Bitcoin Origins has that staying power in the space. Gaia is something you're launching. It looks like CryptoBud's Sidekick. When you go to these products, or when you go in search of these products, what are you kind of looking for there from a feature standpoint? I mean, I'm sure there's a ton of entrepreneurs that are listening to this channel or podcast, even when it's live or even after it's published. What are you looking for when you're trying to attack these products and bring them under your umbrella?
Yeah, how I approach any of these is, just looking at the trends and understanding gaps in the market that I think we can fill. That's where kind of like Sidekick came in. Sidekick is the brainchild of Paul Jenkins, who, is our creative director here. I think I've talked about him before. I think he was on the podcast with us, but I mean, this guy's, third employee of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, helped build some of the most iconic characters out there. Incredible Hulk, did God of War, Civil War, you name it. So, I mean, his mind is just like insane in terms of what he thinks of and the concepts he creates, further than augmented by our incredible creative team that just adds, kind of the icing on the cake. So that particular brainchild is really interesting because he made superheroes his whole life, and now Sidekick is a function of him making fun of all the superheroes that he ever created. So I think it's an incredible play. It's time for the NFT space to have something just be fun, lighthearted, and something that we can all make fun of ourselves for. So that's Sidekick. We call ourselves losers, right? If you want to be a loser, cool. You go on here. You can be a part of any of these, different councils, and there's going to be a land component to this. There's going to be a lot of fun to this, and you can't take yourself as a company too seriously, right? We want to make sure that we're having fun, and that's really important for me and my team, is making sure that we're always having fun and we love what we do. We don't want to just get an investment and be this corporate type of entity that is like forced to then just drive revenue. Like, the revenue will come if you put out good products that you love and that the community will love as well. And that's what we're doing here with Sidekick. And the same thing with CryptoBuds. There's a huge affinity for cannabis in this industry. Nobody's really tapped into it in an effective way. And that was just one of those ones, another fun project. We're not looking to make, $100 million on that, but at the same time, I think it's going to be fun. It's also lighthearted. And I think people will really appreciate it. There's a club aspect to it, so you kind of feel like you're a part of the club by getting these cards up front. So these dispensary cards. So we're going to have a lot of fun there. And then on the other side of our business, like I said, we're focused on technology, infrastructure, marketplace technology, and analytics. So we have a corporate, more serious side of the business, and then a side where we can kind of let our hair down, if you will, and have fun, which I kind of call like our labs division, but it's really focused on our own internal IP, and then working with some very large IP to help them figure out how to come into this space in a really thoughtful way.
Man, that's so cool. I love the fact that Paul now has that opportunity to kind of run with just having fun, because having him on the show and being able to chat with you guys prior to that show, I just distinctly remember his energy and just how much I would love to kind of live in a world that he kind of created the lore for, you know what I mean? I think he's an excellent storyteller. So, I'm really excited about that one. Obviously, CryptoBud sounds really awesome. We've seen people try to take the, that idea and kind of do something, but we haven't seen anything very successful. So as soon as you said dispensary NFTs, my mind just starts going wild with what the, the different mechanics and the gamification of that may be. So I think that you guys are doing a lot of really cool work over there. I think for just kind of the tail end and kind of tying up the interview, because I know we're kind of short on time. Is there anything else that you kind of want to drop on us? You kind of put a little of a cryptic tweet before we went live, so I didn't know if you had one last thing you wanted to share, and also we're going to let chat know if you got any questions to go ahead and pop those up so we can ask Jeremy before he cuts out.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I put out there was Bitcoin Origins plus Dust. So if you guys don't know about Dust, look it up. It's a very intriguing crypto. that was created by our co-founder and CTO, Kurt Braggett. It's very interesting in the sense that it's a currency that's able to be mined by chatting or being a part of any social interaction. We're doing something together in collaboration with them and their team with Bitcoin Origins to bring additional value that I think the community has been asking for a little while. And the space has definitely evolved. You've seen things like our planet and staking functionality. So just stay tuned. There's a lot of surprises yet to come, but this partnership is going to be great. And I would say any company in our position, part of it is not only like who's on your cap table, who's investing in your company, but it's also about the partnerships, and that speaks volumes in terms of where you're going as an organization. So this is one of many announcements of partnerships that are forthcoming. We've been working on a lot in the background, and I would just say that the end of 2021 as well as Q1 of 2022 is just going to be incredible.
Jeremy, it's sad to let you go here. We have so much more to talk about. Definitely want to schedule a call with you afterwards as well, so that our teams can kind of sit down and talk together. But one community question that we're having here, Don R is saying, why flow over Ethereum or Cardano? What are the upsides or compromises? Love NFT Live. Shout out to Don R there.
Nice, good question. So just putting it out there. So we are an agnostic blockchain firm, right? So we create across multiple blockchains. So, Bitcoin Origins, Sidekick, CryptoButts, that's all wax-based products. This marketplace technology that we're building is on Flow. So we make bets across multiple blockchains because, like I said, there's not a silver bullet here, as we know. We love Ethereum. Like, we're going to create some generative art plays, like coming soon, hint, hint. But I think all of them have their benefits. Some of them have their downsides. But at the end of the day, we're going to explore and we're going to test and we're going to iterate and see what works. But ideally, Flow for us is a great partnership to have. There's a lot of controversy over, green NFTs and things like that. So, the sustainability factor is one thing, that's highly controversial. But at the end of the day, that's one thing. The second thing is they've invested in us and really are betting on our future. We've created a great relationship with Mickey and their team over there and Roham. And some of the best IPs in the entire world want to play in that sandbox. And we want to play there too, right? So in bringing brand security and things to these massive brands that are coming into the space, it's hard for them to say, let me just go on Rarible, right? Because then they almost get lost in the sea of NFTs and different types of NFTs, and some are just a little too racy for them. So for these huge brands to come in a really thoughtful way, they need the brand security to be able to come in and feel safe and feel like they have that protection of their brand. So that people kind of the value of their brand doesn't get diluted. So I think that's why a lot of them are attracted to Flow, and that's why we're making a big bet on Flow and building some technology there. But once again, building technology across multiple blockchains. So a diversified approach, if you will.
Absolutely. Very cool. We got a question from chat that just popped up. Llama was asking, will there be an ETH Origins? Do you guys have any plans for Ethereum Origins? I knew that's what we were going to get. I shouldn't even ask. I could have answered that question. That's awesome. I do want to say thank you so much for joining us again, Jeremy. Huge shout out to Kurt. I honestly, I put a tweet out last week. I owe a lot to Kurt. He invited me to Clubhouse. He put me on and got me in front of a lot of people. And I actually have I've been lucky enough to be able to work kind of alongside of some really amazing people in the space. And I definitely would look forward to chatting with you as well. So thanks again for joining us. I think Q, unless you got anything else for Jeremy, we'll go ahead and let you cut out, brother. But thanks again.
Thanks Jeremy, so much for coming on. Always a pleasure. Talk soon.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks. Bye.
Love his
holy shit. That guy's gonna take over. Holy crap. Dude. How many things is he working on? Holy shit. I loved the first thing I loved when he came on, other than his mantra of just taking over the NFT space. I think that's a cool ethos to have, is that he's surrounding himself with smart people. Great concept there from a leader standpoint, and he's doing a great job, man. So shout out to Jeremy, shout out to NFT Genius. Yeah, definitely want to follow up with Jeremy here over the coming weeks here, and hopefully we can sit down with him and his team and do some cool things with NFT Live as well.
Yeah. I mean, they've got so much stuff going on. I was just like, holy moly, when he started listing everything off. And then I didn't even realize that they have they're going to be making the metaverse play, right, with the Sidekicks product, which is really mind blowing. They've got so much going on. You know, shout out to those guys. Obviously, like we had the pleasure of interviewing them back. I think it was in December, right? To meet him and to meet Paul and to have a chat with that team. I'm so happy that like people like that are getting these opportunities now, where investments are coming in, and now they've got the money and they can build the infrastructure. And NFTs are taking that next step, right? Like forward into what comes next, right? Like hopefully more gaming. Hopefully, to speak what he was talking about, live events is going to be huge. One day you guys are going to have to do an interview with me, and we're going to have to talk a little bit about what Gig Labs has got going on and how we're involving, live experiences and trying to blend, right, like the lines between physical, digital media and all that stuff. So really love seeing that they're building, and whatnot there. To everybody who's hanging out in chat, man, shout out to you guys. You've been so lit in the conversation. Yep. We appreciate the questions. We appreciate you being here. If it is your first time, we definitely would love for you to click the subscribe button if you're enjoying the content. Also, the thumbs up helps tremendously a lot for us to be able to kind of work with the algorithm and get more people into chat, and hopefully open up more opportunities to bring excellent quality interviews and content to you guys on a weekly basis. So we do appreciate everyone for that.
I've never been more hyped in the NFT space. I want to run through a brick wall. I mean, the absolute opportunities that are arising in the NFT space for anybody that wants to get in is just vast. I mean, he talked about it there with I believe he said I don't know if it's internet or what, but he definitely mentioned that this is a vertical that's absolutely going to explode. So just plant your foot in the sand and take a stand and build a product, and you have a great opportunity here in the NFT space, man. I want to run through a brick wall, but we will get to the news portion of this episode, the main topics portion of this episode. Shout out again to everybody in the chat. You guys absolutely blew up that interview and appreciate it so much. So this is what we're doing. Buff, I want to play something on the screen here real quick. This is going to be this is my favorite scene from Space Jam.
Is it?
Number one, he gets flattened.
Oh, they gotta like pump him up. Yes. I played this for the first time for my kids this weekend, and they didn't know who any of the characters were. They didn't know Bugs Bunny.
Not
or
even
anything.
MJ.
They
didn't
know
like
my daughter. My daughter was like, "Is that LeBron James?" I'm like,
this movie's underrated, man. It's such a good one.
It's so underrated. It's such a good movie. I agree 100%. I had the biggest crush on Lola Bunny, man.
Oh, same. That's so
Lola Bunny.
Yes. Same. Okay, we're gonna get into.
Co-sign.
Thank you. Yeah, we're gonna get to this piece here on the Space Jam NFTs that were just dropped out of nowhere. Buff, did you have any last thoughts on that interview we just had with Jeremy Bourne?
Dude, amazing. Jaw was on the floor. He's like you say, he's taking over the space. I mean, endless with the content. I can't wait to see everything he's partnering with everybody in the space. So look out for him, man. He is not slowing down. So that was great, you guys. Good stuff.
100%. All right, Ronan, you got it. Take it away with our first story here. We are covering pretty much everything in NFTs. So we're going to start with this big piece of news here.
I'm going to start off with Llama's comment. He says LeBron James sure had let himself go. So obviously the first story that we have got coming up for you guys is the fact that Space Jam, talking about LeBron James and Michael Jordan, dropped some NFTs yesterday. These drops on the new platform that was also invested by Mark Cuban, which is Nifty's, NIFTYS.com. And if you were early enough, you were able to cash in on, I believe, an uncommon or a common, and then like a chance at an uncommon. But then you could also obviously buy some packs. Then they had all of these, I think the art looks really cool. I do think and know that they had there's Lola Bunny, that there were some issues with the launch. A lot of people had problems just signing up for an account, being able to connect their wallet. Once they connected a wallet, I've seen even this morning, some people were saying that some of the NFTs they purchased and that they had in their wallets yesterday are no longer there today. So Nifty's launching and having the usual experience of, issues on launch. But hey, once they get that up and once they get that flowing, the promo model looks good, according to Choina. I agree. I think that this makes a lot of sense for brands moving forward. You drop a couple of maybe promo NFTs that people can cash in on that are limited, right? There was only 10,000 promo ones. And then you have the ability to buy in and pick up some cool cards that commemorate this moment of, the movie dropping. So I love the fact that they did NFTs. I would have liked to have seen maybe a more interactive experience. Who knows? Hopefully we'll see some more of that stuff come as, these NFT experiences start to get fleshed out a little more.
Yeah, I know I was away in Pittsburgh for the last 4 days. I got back on Sunday, but I didn't see any news about this drop before it actually hit the market. It was just like, holy shit, there's all these free NFTs that could be minted for Space Jam. I knew nothing about it. I was able to claim, as you can see here, but you can buy every 24 hours unless I'm mistaken, although I think they were sold out. Are they completely sold out, or is completely sold out? So you had the opportunity to buy every 24 hours, but that quickly was sold out. So definitely like the aesthetic as well. I think they did a good job with these NFTs. I think you can tell that the artist put in some work here for this project. So just didn't know about it beforehand. So it was kind of a surprise to most people. Most people didn't get in.
Yeah. It was Nifty's just put out that they were going to be launching on that day. They didn't say a time, I don't believe, and they didn't say what they were going to be launching with. So when the site went live, it dropped that they had Space Jam, and obviously that was a big deal. So Twitter quickly takes over, and if you're not plugged into Twitter, you should be if you're in this space, because that's where you're going to get the alpha, and that's how I found out. That's how most people find out about these projects early on, so you can kind of get in front of these things. So. I love Throwback's comment. Pop-up NFT shop. It's an interesting concept.
Pop-up NFT shop. So we have that marketplace launching here really soon. I'm going to actually jump into Discord really quick and see if we can't hop in here. Guys, there's an NFT channel in our Discord. It pretty much is the one-stop shop for everything NFTs. I mean, we're a cross-project social token community. So basically, we love all the projects. So it's not just focused on one specifically, as you can see a new metaverse we're about to talk about, but drop your pieces, either a photo or a link if it's possible. I don't know if that interface is actually going to let us do that, but drop the Space Jam NFTs that you were able to get. I see some in chat saying that looks like Xpaw got a common LeBron and uncommon low. Yeah, this looks really good.
Yeah, said somebody got an epic for the $3. There's a couple rares, Myline and Throwbacks. Throwbacks also got some 2 uncommons. Very cool. Yeah, I ended up with just 2 commons from my 2 free pulls. I assumed that everybody was getting commons. Apparently that wasn't the case. I was just unlucky. But I was gonna say, I love to see it. I can't wait to see more and more experiences that are not on the internet, that are tied to NFTs, whether that's, an event, whether that's a movie, promo, TV, magazines, whatever. I'm ready for that world where you can scan a QR code while you're in the movie theater, and all of a sudden you got an NFT in your wallet, where you can send a text and get an NFT, when you can pass through a geolocation fence and get an NFT. Been talking to a lot of different brands and companies about what you can do with geofence locations, and how does that enact different live events, right? Because there's so much downtime for certain live events that it's a no-brainer. So I imagine next year we're going to see a lot of live events, and we're going to see a lot of gaming implementations when it comes to NFTs in the space. Very nice pickup, Joyner.
It's perfect. I think Pokemon Go showed us the way. I mean, I remember that summer as we see these photos roll in. I remember that summer and going past just park locations and it being filled with hundreds of people spilling out onto the street. It's like, holy crap. It looks like Young Content got a rare Bugs Bunny. This man got a rare Bugs Bunny. My God. I'll give you $6 for it.
Ooh, look at Swervis. Oh, boy. Scored the LeBron. I hadn't seen the LeBron yet, dude. The card quality is really cool. I love the layout of the cards. They look great, man.
Pollution's coming through. Shout out to you guys dropping your picks here. The marketplace opens in 12 days and we'll see what these are going for. But definitely shout out. I mean, damn, a rare Bugs Bunny. That's going to go for more than $3, one would assume. So
yeah, I should have bought a couple packs. That's really dope. I love it.
You couldn't. You couldn't, unless you would set up multiple accounts.
I didn't even buy my one.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I collected like the 2 free ones, and I was like, I'll buy one later. And yeah.
Got it.
So.
Well, these are going to keep coming through. We'll come back to them. Speedy Gonzalez, one of my favorite characters there in the Space Jam universe. LeBron, a rare LeBron. These guys are awesome. Killing it.
Look at it, dude. That's dope. I love the card. It's got the background is really cool. This is where this is how you engage your community on a totally different level. Like you get people talking, you get people sharing. Yeah. They're sharing what their pools are. They're going to Facebook. They're getting on Twitter. They're telling their friends, right? Like this is what makes the space so exciting, and why NFTs changed the game, because these are valuable things that some people pulled for free, that some people got for $3. To be able to build a value for your community and those who enact with your brand it cannot be understated. So really looking forward to what NFTs got coming up next. But I do think that Space Jam, hey, you ran into some IT problems. Ooh. Once those are fixed, Nifties. Oh, Tasmanian Devil was my favorite, dude. That was hands down my favorite character. Whoever just posted that, Crypto Stamina, we're going to have a chat.
He's easily the best character in Space Jam. By 100x, he has the best cameos in Space Jam. But we will, guys, great pulls here. It looks like we're the only ones that didn't get a rare, Ronan. So apparently we got a lot of people having rares here. Shout out to the Ladz, man. Shout out to NFT chat there. If you want to go into our Discord, I am going to drop a link right now. I don't know how long it'll last, so if you're here afterwards, just go to ladz.city and you will be able to get there. We do have to move on, unfortunately. We have a full episode that we still need to get to. So I'm going to touch on the floor prices. Now, we've been bringing these up probably every week. Shout out to Zeneca, who's been putting this together. It's been kind of hard to see. It's been a photo on Twitter, but they actually made a view only on, it looks like Google Sheets here. So I know it's going to be tough, a little bit tough to see. I'm going to ask Buff to zoom in just a little bit, and I'm going to do that myself. But we can kind of see a coin market cap here for generative art pieces, which I think, Jeremy, if you're still listening, that should be added to Nifty Cap, because we do see Zeneca putting together a good kind of overview of the NFT projects, what the floor price was yesterday, what it is today, and then the 24-hour change. It looks like Ghost did really well. Kennel Club is kind of popping off here at 23%. We see some others that are losing value, obviously. So a couple in here, Pulse Squares, which I'm not involved in. Obviously, you can see CryptoPunks there at the top. VFriends, I still am not going to get involved. It's just not doing it for me. NFT Theo doing well on these percentage changes. So a little bit better view here as we make our way down the list. But what do you take away from this piece here, Ronan? Do you see any that you kind of are surprised that are shooting up the charts, or surprised that they're going the other way down?
No, I mean, honestly, like a lot of it really does make sense. I think that it's also worth noting he does these on like a daily, or like he does these daily, relatively regularly. So like when you see like, a project like, I don't know, there was one in red that I was like, that's surprising. Oh, Deadheads, right? Like Deadheads is in red today, but yesterday had a nice pump, right? So, some of the numbers could be maybe not so clear when you're viewing them in that way.
I see.
But I will say, with Ghosts, super sad that I didn't jump into Ghosts, because I knew about Ghosts like weeks ago, man. And I thought they were excellent art, but the utility aspect was something I was considering, and these things happen. You can't get them all, but shout out to them. It's an excellent artwork. And I love to see like these updates, because it's interesting to watch. And if you're on OpenSea all day long, it's one of these things that's super helpful, right? Like to watch. Yep. And you can figure out like what projects hey, look, there's a dip in Deadheads, but it pumped yesterday. Maybe it's a good time to pick up a Deadhead. And then so if you like to play those games, this is a super useful document to have.
100%. We've actually pinned that in the NFT chat as well. So if you guys want to find that, just go up to the top right there while you're in NFT chat, and you can see a pinned message that has the link to Zeneca's post. So we're not going to hop out of generative art projects. I've got one project here that I wanted to add on here very quickly. A 30-second shout out here. Kung Fu Hero Club is dropping a generative art piece. Really interesting mechanic here. They've actually got Minesweeper running. I don't know if you were talking about Minesweeper the other day, but they have the ability to play a game. You can do more Minesweepers. Oh, man, can I please get to it? Oh, I don't know if it's going to let me. The game is definitely live. Oh, it is definitely. Anyways, what you'll see basically is the ability, if you hold their NFTs, right? So you can see like a piece there. You can actually play the Minesweeper game more often, however many times or however many in quantity that you own. Bored Ape Yacht Club owners, as well as CryptoPunks owners, for example, are able to play the Minesweeper game every 5 minutes. If you own a Kung Fu Hero and it goes quicker and quicker as you kind of go up the quantity level. But if you own the Kung Fu's, you get to do it faster. And then if you actually win the game, you get an NFT, a special NFT, basically. So that is kind of the way.
You get a special NFT if you win Minesweeper?
Yes, exactly. So here's the treasure hunt game I was talking about. It has Bruce Lee as kind of the backdrop, and you can see the square pieces there. If you own one Kung Fu Hero, you sweep every 4. If you own over 4 Kung Fu Heroes, you sweep every minute. And then you can see holders of other NFTs, I believe, Bored Ape Yacht Club, Cool Cats, CryptoPunks were all, we're kind of the idea. So cool gamification model here. Just wanted to give them a quick shout out. I believe those are still able to be minted as we speak. So.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to look into that. I used to be a Minesweeper nut, dude. I loved Minesweeper, especially once I actually figured out how you're supposed to play. It was like fun just clicking shit. And then when you figure out how the game actually works, you're like, oh, there's actually strategy involved in this game. But yeah, so love to see it. Obviously utility is great. The ability to, plug in another project's NFTs is something that you're starting to see happen more and more, right? Like, hey, our project is its own thing. But if you have an ape, if you have a punk, if you have a bonsai, whatever, then we're going to give you perks in our project as well, right? Like, it just makes sense to kind of cross collaborate in that way. Also, because of the fact that you don't really need anybody's permission, right? So it's not like in the real world where, hey, if you're, McDonald's and you want to collaborate with Space Jam, you got to go and get permission. Like here, you could just be like, hey, if you hold a Space Jam NFT, come get some free fries, right? So I think it's a really cool aspect of NFTs that a lot of brands and companies and projects really don't utilize as much, but as we move forward, I think we're going to see a lot more. So I love it. I'm definitely going to be looking at Kung Fu Metaverse because now you got me want to play fucking Minesweeper.
You'll touch it after. Guys, I want you to drop. This is what I want. I don't know how I'm going to award a winner, but I'm going to give some lads out to maybe one person, a couple people. We're a little bit generous in our Discord with the lads handouts for participation. Drop what generative project you are in or are excited about in the chat, and we will get you some lads rewards. Again, don't know how I'm going to choose. Don't get pissed off if you're not the one that wins, but we are dropping lads for a little bit of participation here. So all right, we are moving. Go ahead.
I was gonna say there's gonna be some more opportunities. We're always giving away lads. If you guys were hanging out and you guys were in Discord, for example, when Q went live yesterday, I dropped an airdrop to everybody who was hanging out in Discord for that show. So if the more you're hanging out, the more opportunity you're able to pick up lads. Obviously, Q said he's gonna be giving away some lads later. I'm gonna be doing a giveaway for everybody who has been following along. Black Hat made it to the finals, but I'm getting wrecked. On voting. So if you guys, want to show some love to your boy, you can head over to the Punks Comics and vote. If you do vote, make sure you're taking a screenshot because I will be running a contest where the first 20 or 30 lads that show me that they voted for Black Hat will get some lads. And then on top of that, I've jumped 4%. Let's go. But on top of that, I'll also reward lads if everybody who voted wins as well. So if Black Hat wins, you're going to get double the lads. If he doesn't win, then at least you got some lads. And I think it was something like if you voted last time, you got almost $10 in lads, and then we won. So you got almost $20 in lads. And it only takes about 3 seconds for you to click it to vote. So if you guys don't mind, go to punkscomic.com/ape-madness. You can see it there. Don't vote for the Black Hat on the right. Vote for the Black Hat on the left.
Cousins.
I do appreciate you guys. They get along. But I think if you even check out the story, Black Hat's got a serious story. I feel like he's a character that you would want to see involved in a comic book universe. So enough shilling of my own stuff. We do have some more news for you guys. I think Q's got a pretty cool story that I was unaware of, and I'm really looking forward to checking this next project out. Oh, wait, no, awesome. It's mine.
You do you, Black Cat. I got you.
Yeah, my bad. Let's talk Solana, and then we can go to Green Rabbit right after.
Awesome. This is a dope project that just came out with an announcement. no funding has been done for this project yet, and it looks like, oh wait, we definitely have it. Buff has the actual intro, so we're going to run in with that. Much better way to run into this story than actually me talking. So let's run into this Aurora drop, and we will talk about it afterwards. This project kind of came out of nowhere, and as you can see, it's already super built out. They can build little micro environments where they can kind of take, those shots. Obviously, that's not maybe a full world that's being built out yet, but holy crap, Metaverse on Solana. Every chain is going to have their own, if not multiple metaverses, as we see on ETH right now. But I haven't heard about anything happening on Solana, and then they do this drop here on July 12th. So whew, that's awesome.
Hell of a trailer. I think if you're trying to get some attention, obviously, like making sure that the product looks good is probably the first thing you want to do. So shout out to the Aurora team. Look, if you've ever played Pokemon, I'm sure that this like really screams at you because the art is beautiful. The mechanics seem to be very familiar. And they obviously, I mean, at least for me, they make a lot of sense when you think about how NFTs can play into this experience and further, that entire, universe. So very cool project. Really looking forward to keeping up with this one as well.
Hey, Buff, can you zoom in on me real quick? Kagi, how did we find out about an NFT gaming project before you?
How dare
Paging
you?
Kagi, how dare you? Someone call Kagi, get him up. I think he just woke up. He said good morning at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard. Kagi, NFT Live got on an NFT gaming project before you. How does that feel, my man? No NFT, no play. Damn. Aurora project.
Alpha.
We got, Alpha. NFT gaming Alpha being dropped here on NFT Live. Kagi, get at me.
Let's go. All right, guys. So next up for you, we do have some news on Green Rabbit. Green Rabbit launched today. If you guys were hanging out with us recently, we did do an interview with that team, and I the project seemed very, very cool. Right before we hopped on, I took a look, and it looked like sales were kind of going a little bit slow. But if I'm not mistaken, it looks like they've sold out of their first two offerings. So the starter pack and the premier pack look like they're gone, and they've got about 1,200 more of the 3D character crates. So hey, congratulations to them for that, because I thought it was moving really slow, and you and I kind of had a little conversation about, some of these projects aren't moving as quickly as you would hope they would. So congratulations to the team. Really looking forward to what comes next for Green Rabbit. We did want to let you guys know that did launch. Hopefully we're getting you some alpha so you could get in before it sold out, but it looks like that took place in about the last hour and a half. So, love the project. I think this one's going to be one that you're going to be, following as we move forward.
Yeah, 100%. And we do have some of these Green Rabbit NFTs still to give out in our vault.ladz account here in Wax. So we'll be following that. We'll be getting you guys some drops there. I know there were some giveaway winners that need to be dropped. We'll get with Crypto Lander about that one. So shout out to Green Rabbit. Great team there. Great guy that was on last week. So wish them all the best. All right, next piece here. This could potentially be the biggest piece of news that we'll see this week. I mean, this project has, by all accounts, a lot of the ETH community behind it. I saw a lot of influencers and a lot of different powers that be kind of talking about Nifty Island. The last I checked, I wasn't able to actually log in and get a really good look. Okay, so we do have a pretty good look. This is going to be interesting. We do have Ladz City, obviously, in the metaverse in plans. And one of the coolest things, generally, what's going to be awesome about Ladz City is the ability to bring multiple individuals or enthusiasts that are in different projects together. It seems like Nifty Island is kind of an offshoot of that, or at least trying to accomplish the same thing. They say, welcome to a gameverse that is so much more than a game. They're talking about community involvement, and basically here, as we can take a look from the actual paragraph here, Nifty Island is an open social game hub and a gallery that harnesses NFTs and crypto to make the metaverse a reality. So definitely a early project. There's not much more out other than their official announcement, which basically started today. But that is where we're at here. Let me see if I can't get you guys a little bit more here from their initial post. You can see that there's a Discord invite. You can see there's some generative pieces there, it looks like. And it looks like their first little robot NFT there. But that pretty much came across my timeline today. And there were a lot of people mentioned that, you know, are generally pretty heavy hitters in the Ethereum community. So will be interesting to watch this project as it grows.
Yeah, I think, you know, the metaverse is obviously like a big play for a lot of projects right now. A lot of projects are including the ability to download, you know, the GLB files and the STL files and all those other files that I don't even know what you use them for. But at the end of the day, I think that it's becoming kind of assumed, right, that like a lot of these projects where your avatar is supposed to be kind of like your identity, that you will be able to tie those into the metaverse. So this just makes a lot of sense. I think we'll be able to, it'll end up, we'll get to a point where your avatar is just kind of like ability to go from one metaverse to the next will be kind of seamless. And I think there's a lot of people working on that technology already. And I'm really looking forward to it to be implemented in projects like this, right? You include one avatar for this and Green Rabbit and, you know, DCL and Sandbox is kind of where I think we're going and where I hope a lot of people hope the technology gets to. So love to see Nifty Island. I like to see more projects popping up that are, you know, approaching the metaverse in a different way.
Yeah, biggest thing I see with Nifty Island and one of the cool things that will be available as we kind of build out Ladz City is the ability to have multiple different enthusiasts get into one metaverse. Right now, what you see is CyberKongs has their own metaverse. Bored Ape Yacht Club has their own metaverse. All these people are building kind of siloed different areas and communities. It'll be awesome to see one city where all of these people are mingling. That is where you're going to see some cool interactions in an ever-present universe. It's going to be awesome. Can't wait. But shout out to Nifty Island there.
Absolutely. So next up, we have got another Wax project that is launching, and that one is going to be the Street Fighter Series 2. So I think we actually have a bumper for them as well, if you want to go ahead and roll that one.
Street Fighter is back and better than ever on Wax's energy-efficient blockchain. Start by opening limited edition packs of build and cheat cards. Combine 2 matching build cards and 1 cheat card to unlock a new card with one of 4 rarities. Upgrade that card's power by adding additional build cards and cheat cards. Upon upgrading each card, you'll unlock a special class card with one of 3 rarities. Build cards and cheat cards are burned when used, which increases card scarcity and value. Collect them all. Visit sf2.cards for details.
Bam. Oh, muted.
Another Street Fighter project, another burn event, and you know, look, it's good to see the big IPs coming back for a second round. Hopefully, you know, you guys jump into that one. You know, just best wishes on the what was it called? The merging and all that stuff, man. I'm just not a fan of the project. I'm sorry, guys.
Listen, I felt like I got into a Street Fighter battle after the 3-hour like burn, kind of like throw them together and try to race to get the mint number 1. I was physically tired after doing that. So yeah, I mean, there's a bigger conversation I think to be had. You know, we always, I feel like the NFT community is really positive towards one another. So we'll stay in that range. But there's definitely projects and just in general, I don't want to dance around too much of the issue there, but we were talking beforehand. It's like we want to see more awesome projects coming to Wax. Cogs was doing a great job, but we want to see Wax do super well. So we'll continue to kind of monitor that and bring that information to you and see how the Wax projects are doing. But that, God, I'm really dancing here around this, aren't I, Ronan?
It was an experience, and you get to have that experience once again. So brought to you by Wax, season 2, version 2. What are they calling it? Series 2 of Street Fighter.
Yeah, we'll end it there. Not the episode, but just that talk there. We'll have that another day. How about that? We'll move on to the next piece. Zedrun's been getting some heat lately, and mostly around their communication to their community. A lot of things are happening that are just kind of sprung onto the community. This no different. Zedrun came out, didn't have any announcement, and 19 hours ago they added a creator royalty fee here. Not really sure. Going through the initial comments, I don't know if we have any Zedrun enthusiasts in the house that have kind of been following this developing story. Not sure if this is going directly to the original developers or if this is going to some other fund, but people weren't happy. You see Chateau here is saying this is an interesting development, and then you basically have people battling in the comments saying that this is not a good development. This is kind of something that was just sprung onto the community. And seems really bad overall to introduce a creator fee without telling anyone. So essentially 2.5% more expensive, and that's going directly to developers. I'm not sure. Ronan, have you heard anything from this story? And I definitely want to throw this to the community as well.
Yeah, just kind of the same. Like, I've just kind of been following it from afar. I think that I'm torn, right? Like, because I think at the end of the day, projects should have, royalty fee. I think that's part of what makes the technology sustainable, right, for businesses. Because like to be able to implement these things, to be able to roll these things out, to be able to have these experiences, like you've got to have income, and part of that is that you can't always have NFT drops that are going to provide that, right? Like you've got to have some sustainability in place, and so I understand it. However, I'm really surprised that they implemented it late, right? Because I've had a Zedrun horse for a year now, and if I would have known this was coming, I probably would have tried to sell it before. But one, just implementing it so late in the game, but also two, like doing it without telling the community. And I think that's part of the issue here. And I'm very big on, if a project is going to make a big change that's going to affect people's, investment in the project, then they should probably let them know ahead of time that it's going to happen, not let the community find out by themselves. And to me, it's one of the simplest things that is often missed by a big brand, right? Like they just don't think ahead. And it's pretty surprising, right? Like have a moderator take 30 seconds to say, hey guys, just an update. We're going to be implementing a 2.5%, fee. This is on the lower end compared to most creators, but we do feel like we need to implement it so we can now go hire more people, do better art, have better experiences, whatever the point is, right? So the community understands why you're doing it and why they're giving up some of their profits back to the company, right? They just want to know like it's okay and that like there's a reason for doing it. So communicate.
Yeah, royalties are 100% one of the biggest pieces that is going to just blow NFTs out of the water. When traditional companies see that they can take a royalty fee on some of these drops that we've seen here in like the last week, creators have been dropping the NFTs for free. I forgot Josh Hart was the NBA player that was involved in dropping those middle finger NFTs, dropped them completely for free. It was kind of a meme, but he's getting now 10% royalties on all the trading that's happening on free NFTs. So it's a genius marketing strategy if you have the ability to who doesn't want a free NFT? Who's not going to get that? And then if you can drive the secondary market sales afterwards, boom, like that is, you have a viral marketing right there. So great conversations, great points you were making there, Ronan. I don't know, you want to finish that up and then head on to the next?
Yeah, nope. I think you hit all the good points. I think, obviously what he did with the middle fingers makes a lot of sense from a marketing standpoint. And, he just tweeted earlier today, so are we going to boot up a Discord for the fingers? Obviously, that's a yes. Obviously, he knows that answer. And obviously, he's probably got a Discord ready to boot up now. So, it just makes sense. So shout out to him for doing that, for coming the right way. And, whoever helped him with marketing was like genius. I kind of know who it was. Shout out to Jimmy. But,
Yep. Jimmy's been all over, man. We're about to touch on something here in a second, but I'll wait on it. But Jimmy's been all around. So let's hop into the next one. I got to pull up on my screen, and then we will finish out the episode.
Yep. So the next one is another Wax project, which was Skullz. For anybody who doesn't know, what's really cool about this is the world's first interactive virtual band. What does that mean? It means that the girls in this band are AI characters, essentially, that you will only be able to like really interact with and deal with on a metaverse type level, right? Like they may be hanging out in Decentraland one day. They may have a concert in, crypto voxels. They may end up with their own metaverse, with wearables and all types of things. But what I love about the project is the art. I love the fact that they are really kind of taking NFTs in this space and kind of building something totally unique upon it, right? Like they said that in an article that I read, that the AI that you interact with in Decentraland or whatever metaverse is actually going to learn from that experience and is actually going to evolve. So the AI that's running this band is going to actually kind of be, like this long-term project that kind of crosses, the threshold of a lot of different, mediums, right? With AI and NFTs, and who knows, like maybe you get to go to a physical concert one day and, you're there, but they're holograms, right? Like that's the future. And these are like completely made up characters. I think the art's cool. These actually come with clips, like, right, actual audio clips. And the group actually said that originally they were putting like whole, like, tracks, like a minute or like 2-minute tracks, but it was just too large. So you've got some pretty cool, little clips there that you can kind of listen to on some of the more rare ones, right? XP asked in chat if that's what I borrowed the wax for. I had to hit XP up. I was like, yo, I'm 8 wax short on this, on being able to buy another pack. And he totally came out and clutched, and I degened. I bought like 8 or 9 VIP passes, dude. I've got like almost all the cards. I got to get the top ones, but I think it's a cool project. And I think for me, like these projects that blend, right, like the lines between physical and NFTs and digital and metaverse and merchandise and live shows, and who else, what else can they do with this project? I mean, it's the sky's the limit. And I think we're going to see more and more. So hopefully, some of you guys are hearing about this for the first time. You can go over there, check out the project. If you like it, maybe pick some up. I think it's a really cool project. I love the team working on it. We actually are going to be having them on next week to have a chat about what they're doing kind of like on a large scale for not only Skullz, but also maybe some other stuff they've got going on. So you guys look out for that. Yeah.
Let's get after it, man. I have the hottest drop that has ever existed for one of our last stories here. Chicken Run. It's not called Chicken Run. It's called Chicken Derby, but I want to call it Chicken Run because it's a little bit like Zed Run, and we're going to run with that. We have a drop on 16th of July. UK, I don't know why you guys do that, man. Just put July 7th or July 16th at 7 p.m. Why do you have to do it backwards? But we do see that on July 16th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. You will have your chance at 33,333 chickens on the Polygon blockchain. You'll be able to run your chickens. You'll be able to buy your chickens, race your chickens, earn some ETH. And man, they should pay me a little bit to kind of throw out this marketing for them, because man, I'm so excited for Chicken Derby. Run it, Buff. Let's run Chicken Derby. All right, this is a good.
You're so excited for
this launch, dude. I appreciate a generative art project that launched, or at least like launched their media and launched their website and everything, and then is like, hey, we're going to launch a month down the line, instead of just getting everything together, launching the week that it started, getting the Discord up. these guys at least put some time into it. I know you were talking about the actual supply, 33,333, probably being a little bit too much. I would agree. There is some game mechanics there that are going to allow you to race your chicken right out of the box. So that will be a little bit different than maybe your just generative pieces that you're loving the art about. But dude, chickens, NFTs, racing, ETH, all of my favorite things packaged into one project. Chicken Derby, I am here. You can hire me. I'll do whatever you want because I'm totally shilling this project right now, man. Chicken.
You sure they didn't pay you? How many chickens did they promise you? And how do I get some of those? Nah, man. Look, seriously, I do appreciate the fact that they have a game, that they have utility, that they, are thinking in that way. I do have a really big issue with 33,333. We saw a project like, what was it? Lucky Manicky, right? Like that had 14,000, and that last stretch of getting that last 2,000 was like 24 hours or something. I just don't think that we have enough people involved in the space for this one to sell out quickly. And a lot of times people make the wrong assumption if a project doesn't sell out quickly. So it'll be interesting to watch. It'll be interesting to keep up with. I also would love to see how quickly they're able to actually boot up racing, right? Like, and get all these things in place. Because being somebody who invested in Zed Run over a year ago, you know what I mean? Like it's taken some time to see these things that they talked about on Discord, last summer are either just being implemented, right? Like they talked about the ability to get skins literally a year ago, and they just launched the first one, I think, a month ago. So, it'll be interesting to see how quickly this comes to fruition and how quickly you can actually put utility behind those NFTs. But hey, cool project. I think the art looks, interesting. But, generative projects are making me a little iffy. I've still got like 8 fucking hash demons. I've got 2 gorillas that somebody convinced me to put bids on they showed up like 5 days later. Like, yeah. So
my Super Yeti is chilling in my wallet and will be for the rest of time. Yeti. At this point, they're a meme. Super Yetis will come back because they're that big of a meme. Like it is going to be an actual collectible how bad it ended up being. So I'm confident in my Super Yeti here. I hopped into the chicken coop here just to show you that I didn't already have this set up. You can see I was like, I had to verify. I can't even see the members. Don't know what I have to do that. But guys, Chicken Coop, Chicken Derby, Apex. Hopefully he's in the chat right now. I want to see some chickens here in the chat here over the next coming weeks as this gets ready to launch. But that will kind of end my shill job of Chicken Derby. Let's go.
They don't have to pay you for that shill. They don't have to give you free chickens for that shill. But I think it would be really dope if you got like a chicken that popped up with a Ladz icon on it. Just saying. That needs to be part of, there's 33,333 of them. So you never know, right? Shout out to Chicken Derby and the developers over there. I think it's a cool project to check out and definitely want to see what chicken racing looks like down the line. So we've got one more and then we're going to let you guys go. And this one probably isn't something that we need to like get too deep to. Somebody else joined the Bored Ape Yacht Club. And I think that somebody is super excited about it. So Dez Bryant owns an ape. How do you feel?
I feel great about this. We're going to spend at least another 20 minutes here just talking about this piece right here and why Dez Bryant is the best wide receiver to ever grace a Cowboys uniform. How about them boys? Go Cowboys. Everything I need to say. Down with the Seahawks. I'll just put that out there for my man Bob. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Dez Bryant, look, Bored Ape Yacht Club sitting at about 4 ETH right now for their floor price. Bored Ape Kennel Club is also doing super well. More and more, as more and more influencers get in, there's only 10,000. I mean, it really holds the Bitcoin narrative there of supply and demand as these influencers get in. I saw a lot of funny comments there in Dez Bryant's Twitter thread being like, what the hell is this? I can imagine like random people that have no idea what NFTs are seeing this and being like, what the So
like, what? Look at that grill, bro.
It's a great ape, by the way. Amazing ape. Jimmy was able to get this over to Dez Bryant and make that deal happen. Just absolutely getting after it in the NFT space. But yeah, shout out to the X, shout out to my Cowboys. Love Dez Bryant. He was my receiver growing up. So really excited to see more and more.
Absolutely. As an ape holder, thank you, Dez, because you pumped the floor enough for me to get one of my apes sold, and I love it. But I didn't even think about this. Did I tell you that I talked to Dez?
Really? No.
Yeah.
When?
Oh, in the DMs, brother. We're gonna have to talk. So Dez has got some stuff going on in the NFT space, and yeah, so who knows? Maybe we'll be lucky enough to get Dez Bryant on the show. I'm working on it. I'm trying.
I hear about this on stream, guys. This is me hearing about this on stream.
My bad. I forget who I talk to about things that are going on. But yeah, so look, he totally caught the ball in Green Bay. I'm sure that Q will agree. And yeah, so that's your news for NFTs for this week. Bored Apes going wild. Obviously NFT Genius coming through. Thank you so much, Jeremy, for doing that for us, man. It's been a great episode, Q. How'd you feel? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good, other than I need to find XPlow and actually someone that says he never caught the ball in Green Bay is just trolling of the highest order. Everybody knows that Dez caught it. It literally is the most known thing in the history of humankind. So excited for the rest of NFT Live this week, this month, this year, man. We're absolutely getting after it in these shows. So thank you so much for what you do, Ronan. Thank you so much, Buffalo, as well. Do you have any comments there, Buff, as we end the episode here?
You brought up a good point. You mentioned a good year. Last Friday was exactly 1 year since Q started the show, NFT Live. So on the way out, we got a little anniversary present created by one of the lads in Ladz City, Swervis. I'll roll that when you guys are done here, and we'll wrap the show. But hey, congrats, guys. 1 year and many more to come.
Dude, I just got major chills, brother. All I got to say is, like, for 1 year, congratulations to you, man, like, for coming up with the idea of the show, and like for like getting to a year. I know, like, as a content creator, like the first time you hit live and you got like maybe 5 people hanging out with you, you're like, is this gonna work? So look, man, I just like, and I also want to express live, like, my appreciation for you, like, bringing me into the fold. Cause honestly, like, just like Kurt was like kind of like one step forward, like that very first step has a lot to do with Q, right? Like, so thank you, sir, so fucking much for bringing me onto the show and to give me the opportunity to create content in this space, because without you, without Ladz, without, Buff in this community, I'd still be working at my job, hammering away at freaking spreadsheets all day. So thank you so much, Q, for the opportunity to be on NFT Live. And I'm so hyped for a year in, and I'm ready for another fucking 10.
Yeah, I'm about to cry on stream. We might have to end this short here, but yeah, man, you're super welcome. You've done a great job for NFT Live. Buff, you as well. You guys have been getting after it with me here in the trenches for a while, so thank you so much for what you do. But our vibe, our tribe, man, love it.
Our vibe, our tribe. I fucking love you guys.
I'm stoked. I know you guys are stoked. Let's just get it rolling here, and yeah, let's have a good show, guys.
Hi, Mom. You're watching this on Friday morning. Surprise, you don't have any land yet, but I'm working on it.
Smoke, dude. I'm smoking you guys. And it will just be hugs. Hugs will be the currency. I'm calling it right now. Invest in hugs. I need a hug right now. I've had a hell of a week in Ladz.
Orlando says, aloha, Ladz. Family ready to celebrate my first Ladz live stream. Let's go.
Let's go ahead and check in with Llama real quick and see what the weather in crypto is like. Llama, what is your take on the weather outside in crypto right now?
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
That was your weather report from Llama, our top mod in Ladz City.
I don't know if anybody saw the news,
Dude,
big news?
I'm sorry, man. Yeah, Gutter Gang sold out. They went early.
What?
Hey, thank you guys for having me. I'm doing fucking fantastic,
I didn't time it.
Oh crap.
Let's come back to BAYC here, because this is how it happens every single fucking time. A year ago, me and Ronan were on these fucking shows doing the same shit, okay? Get it right.